Hi. I wanted to close chapter one, the lecture, with the way the book ends, which is the discussion on ethics. And essentially, there are two ethical extremes: fundamentalism, sometimes called absolutism, and relativism. Relativism is this notion that right and wrong are all determined within the context of each particular culture, so there aren't any universal precepts to apply. It all varies from place to place. Absolutism, or as your book calls it, fundamentalism, deals with the idea that there are absolute precepts, universal laws, if you will, that are always right and always wrong, regardless of circumstance. Sometimes people view the notion of human rights, the protection of human rights, as to be a part of this code. So those are the ethical considerations. I'd ask you to think about which one of those extremes are you more comfortable with? Which one fits you? Do you tend to be a little bit of a relativist? Do you tend to be a little bit of an absolutist? And can you see the problems inherent with either extreme? Your book discusses different aspects within ethical communication and gives you some suggestions in order to be a more ethical intercultural communicator. And those are pretty clear in the book, so I won't repeat those, but there are 5 of them, and they're great. I do want to add one addition to the textbook. This is some really interesting writings by a guy named Bradford Hall, who deals with intercultural ethics. And he argues that there are what he calls five goldens as an approach to ethics. And these are the standards by which people have made ethical judgments throughout history. The first golden is called the golden purse, i.e. he with the most riches gets his way. He who has the most gold rules. And certainly historically you can look back through the centuries and see that that's the way much of the world operated. And that's what determined what was right and what was wrong, was who had the power. Power comes in a lot of different forms, not just monetary, but the golden purse has to do with the power element. The golden mean. The golden mean is the idea, mean mathematically in terms of average, that justice is always found in the middle. That if you want it hot and I want it cold, then what we need to do is have it lukewarm. And so justice is always found in the middle, that you avoid extremes, you avoid either or, all or nothing, that there's always a middle ground. The third one is called the golden law. And the golden law is the idea of universal ethics, that there is a universal right and wrong, and what is right for one person must therefore be right for the other. It's an all-inclusive approach regardless of cultural context. It is essentially absolutism. The golden consequence, and this basically determines right or wrong by outcome. Well, if we do this, he's going to end up with a severe knock on the head. If we do that, she may end up dead. So therefore, the right thing to do is the first. And so it's the idea of outcome determining. It's very hard to live this way because many times determining the outcome is mere speculation. It's a mere guess. But the most well-known, most common one is what we commonly call the golden rule. And the golden rule is basically, thou shalt not do unto others what you would not have do unto yourself. Traditionally, this is viewed as a Christian rule, and yet there's a lot of research that argues that this particular philosophy is found in many religions across the world. And basically that, you treat others the way that you would want to be treated. So with that, I'm going to close this out, and you've survived chapter 1, and so did I. So new book, new changes. It's been interesting. So have a terrific week wherever you are, and I'll see you online.